was 13 years old. It was the first day of high school, and I was very nervous. I found my locker after the orientation, but it was surrounded by upperclassmen. I began to walk quickly to the nearest restroom, but noticed that I am being followed by the older Sherk students. "Well, it seems as though you're a little lost," says Sherk number 1 as he walks towards me. I feel very intimidated. "Sherk, please help me," I call out. But the Sherk bullies laugh at me. "Sherk, are you retarded, kid?" Sherk number 2 asks me. Suddenly, the scent of onions fills the room. The bullies are unaware of the Shrekening that is about to occur. Sherk is Sherk, kid. I would fucking destroy Sherk, Sherk number 2 scolds. As Sherk number 3 laughs and calls me a baby. A strong, overpowering voice thunders throughout the entire restroom. Like that's ever going to happen. The door bursts open and it's Sherk. Sherk bursts out of the door and all of his clothing, exposing his Shreked penis. Smash Mouth's song, All Star, is playing, turned up to 11. The force of the music is so strong that it shreds the skin of all the Sherk bullies' faces straight off. Sherk grabs all 3 of them and mashes them together into one big ball, taking on the shape of a large onion. He tosses the Sherk ball out of the window as the screaming of students can be heard from the outside. Sherk turns to me and I just can't resist anymore. I can't let him down. I collapse onto my hands and knees, offering myself to the Ogre Lord. His Sherk cock tears my mouth open as Sherk lets out a mighty ogre roar and fills me to the brim with his pungent onion love. My eyes are filled with tears. Tears of joy, tears of serenity, as I pass out onto the bathroom floor. I awaken in the intensive care unit, covered in copious amounts of onion juice. I went on to graduate high school and receive a scholarship for a prestigious university. Thank you, Sherk. Sherk is love. Sherk is life.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go to 4.
I never knew my real parents. I was told by my caretakers that before I was born, my father passed away after a lengthy battle with lung cancer. It was only a week before the day of my birth. My mother had an extremely difficult delivery, and she died only 1 day after my birth. Even though I never knew my parents, I miss them with all my heart. I never got to know their voices, their lullabies, their touch, or their love. I grew up in the supervision of a foster home with many other children my age. Sometimes they would pick on me and hurt my feelings. The caretakers would not offer much support as they seemed not to understand. The only comfort I found in my empty life was Sherk. His films brought joy to my day, and his merchandise brought material value to my life. On the day of my 12th birthday, I woke up, slipped on my Sherk 2 t-shirt, and walked downstairs. The other children gathered up to mock me as usual. They pointed fingers, mocking me for the fact that I had no friends outside of the orphanage to come to my birthday party. "You don't have any friends," began one of my bullies. Other than Shrek, of course. The children laughed. Even an idiot like you should know that Shrek is Drek. I didn't eat cake, play games, or laugh with my pals. I simply went upstairs to my room and wrote in my diary. May 18th, I wrote in the corner of the page. I've been surrounded by people all day, but I've never felt more alone. I put the pen down and closed the book. I took a deep breath and was surprised to find my lungs filling with the scent of onions. I heard a soft, fatherly voice from the window of my room. "You are never alone," said the voice. "Not now, not ever." I turned my head and spotted a looming green figure. Shrek," I whispered. "Is that you?" "Aye, it is. I'm here for your birthday, laddie." My heart rose. A smile crossed my face. "Really? Thank you, Shrek. This is the happiest day of my life," I told him, elated. "Come with me. Your present's downstairs," he said. I hopped up, took Shrek's hand, and rushed down the stairs. The children all looked at Shrek and I as we entered the room. What could the present be, I wondered. I was so excited. Shrek winked at me before crouching down and putting out his arms beside him, like an airplane. He began a cold sprint towards the group of children and allowed his arms to clothesline every single one of them. I could hear the snapping of necks and the satisfying wheezes of the air being knocked out of the lungs of the children. Shrek smiled and picked up the surviving children by their hair until he had them all in his grasp. With his free hand, he unbuttoned his pants and let his thick, pungent cock spring into the crisp air. With one overhand swing, he impaled all of the children on his cock effortlessly. He fucked all of their corpses until he finished, with a torrent of steaming onion sauce. He tossed the children aside. No words were exchanged. My body, writhing with desire, seemed to read his mind. He looked me in the eye, and within an instant, I knew what I had to do. I gave in to my basic primal urges and lunged at Shrek's stilly Shreked dick. Grunting and leaning down, I exposed my pale cheeks to the ogre and let him fill me. Inch by inch I was claimed. I bit my lips and began to cry as pain, pleasure, and love consumed my soul. Soon, Sherk filled my bowels with another flash flood of musky fluid. He slipped me off his penis and carried me to bed. I was exhausted, but satisfied. Shrek tucked me in, kissed my forehead, and headed for the window. "Wait, Shrek," I said. "Stay with me, please. I want you to be my daddy." Shrek chuckled and smiled. "I am your father, laddie. For all who truly believe in Shrek are my children." Shrek winked before hopping out of the window into the crisp night air. I close my eyes as I think of my last thought before drifting to sleep. Shrek is love. Shrek is life.